Good morning, boys and girls. Weather report for June 7th, 2021.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is. There are comments. Oh my God, there are people here. What the hell?
Don't look them in the eyes. They may run away.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the link out in chat. I don't know. We don't have too much today. There was Bill Morgan on Standing for Truth channel last night. Was pretty fucking amazing. Listening to him is really difficult. He's a really nice guy. But, of course, we can say that about Otangelo, too. And then we had Otangelo on Digital Gnosis, where he totally missed, like, Nathan was running him through this evidence for miracles, right? And his belief in the Christian miracles, but his denial of the same level of miracle from like Islam and some other things. And it seemed to have just zoomed right over Otangelo's head. And then he got into his Darth Dawkins argument, and he just absolutely, started to beam. When he was preaching the Darth, did you notice that switch when he started preaching the precept stuff? And then he went through the whole dice thing, and what if you won the lottery and then you won it again, and you won it 100 times? So he was trying to launch the probability argument. Then he went to fine tuning, and it's just one thing after another. It was amazing.
Apparently Nathan doesn't think he did too well with the probability stuff, because he basically pinned a comment, practically apologizing for not handling it correctly. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I'm only about maybe halfway through the video.
Yeah, I think Nathan was distracted by the chat. Well,
yeah, there were some interesting comments in the chat.
Well, OTAN was going on. Yeah. So, hey, we have Andrew here. Whoops.
Yeah, well, Nathan just came off of a long stream too, I think, right? Because he had done like an 8-hour stream with James Folder.
Yeah.
And then I think he took like an hour off or something, and then he brought in Otangelo. So you can imagine how tired he was after streaming for that long,
So who is the one true atheist?
That is a mystery yet to be solved.
Ooh. I'm
now
shuddering.
Let's get into it.
I'm shivering. Are you the only one?
I'm not the only one, but I'm the one true atheist.
But I thought I was.
Aren't there supposed to be like 144,000?
No, well, has anybody ever claimed to be the one true atheist but me?
I've never claimed to be the one true atheist.
Oh, I'm claiming, so therefore it's me.
Okay, well.
I thought you all understood that I was. I didn't think I had.
No, there has to be. No, it has to be right there in black and white, with homestead posts and everything.
Really?
Yes, and I've claimed it. Now, if you'd have claimed it, I would have, I would have lost, come second, loser. But I claimed it. I'm the one true atheist.
We could have had more than one person claiming to be the one true atheist, and we could kill each other.
In thousands of years, every one of those people will be amalgamated into one person, and that'll be me.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Okay.
So, how do you support your atheism? I mean, isn't life meaningless?
Through volume.
Volume.
Yes.
You just turn up the volume, or
No, volume of information that
Oh.
wrecks See, my mission as the one true atheist is to crush Christianity worldwide on a global level unseen in history before this.
where do I sign up?
Are you all with me?
Oh yes, I want to crush it. Definitely, it needs to be crushed before the turn of the next century, if not
Oh, wait,
within
we'll turn the next
10 years.
century, turn the next decade.
Next
Not,
decade. Yeah.
if not by the end of this year.
Yes. How are we going to do that?
You know, when Soviet ideology came crashing down, it didn't come crashing down over decades. It came crashing down pretty much overnight.
Yeah, the wall came down.
Right.
soon.
So how are we going to do that? Okay, that's a damn good question.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you've got the creationists and the fundamentalists just quaking now because they're coming after us. They're coming after
I
us.
hope so. We are coming after them. We are. This is a figurative crusade. And you know what we are doing? We're not coming after them and their jugular. We're coming after their ideas.
Yep. But my idea was to herd them into condensation camps.
Rapture
But-
camps?
Condensation.
Condensation.
No, I prefer to call them rapture camps.
Oh, rapture camp. Yeah, I'll run that by legal, and they'll probably like that more than my idea.
Because you can't argue against mine.
They were a little nervous when I was asking them about it. I don't know why. They kept, looking at each other. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, rapture camps, that might make it. Yeah, coming after yesterday on Standing's channel, he listed 120 things that they've debunked. Like 120 proteins or something. I don't know what he was talking about exactly.
It's just shit
And
they
I'm
said nuh-uh to. Nuh-uh.
You can't
Yeah, but-
allow them to go to science. You got to stick to the religion. I have challenged Mr. In fact, Mr. Batman himself is a little lower third of Batman. Mr. Batman is such a big mouth that he claims to have studied the Paleo Hebrew of the Bible, and he's challenged me to a debate, and I have accepted his challenge, but I've also made it a little bit more interesting by challenging him to discuss Genesis 1:1 in its original language, which is Hebrew, which he claims to have studied, and I know. So we're on a level playing field if his claim is valid, and if he's not a liar, I'm waiting for him to accept or reject, but I haven't heard a peep.
So yeah, I remember you making a comment about that several weeks ago. So I guess he's just really thinking it over.
I don't think he's thinking of. I think he's quakering. He's quivering in his boots somewhere in wherever the hell he lives.
So Mr. Batman is living right now on Atheist Junior's channel.
Well,
They're over there right now.
do you want to stream it so we can watch it?
Yeah, but that would be like double streaming, and
No, it's you reviewing.
Yeah.
Live review. That's fine. Live commentary, not a problem.
yeah, you can get that's considered bad etiquette. So I can't.
No, it's not. I do it within a heartbeat.
Well, who was it?
Because I mean, you're not taking any away from Atheist Junior. You're saying this is Atheist Junior's channel, and that, so you're doing him a favor. He's
Godless
getting more views.
Godless Engineer nailed. Who the hell did he nail?
Canadian Catholic.
Otangelo. He nailed Otangelo for doing that for live streaming while he was streaming.
Yeah,
for
but
talking
Godless
to-
Engineer is a bit of a strange character himself. He's not everything you think. I've known him for many years. I remember Godless Engineer. He's a strange. He's got some strangeness to him.
I should actually do that to Atheist Junior because he's running his fucking live stream the same time as my weather report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you take precedence. He's just the new kid on the block.
Yeah, well, I'm going to let him have this one. He's got Randolph over there and the Atheist Network group. Is that Oz?
Well, I got one scheduled for
Yeah.
for about 3 hours from now. I thought once you're done, I'm gonna go live.
What is your channel?
Sidney Winston.
It's a what?
Sidney Winston.
Oh shit, that's you. You didn't.
I'm sorry, Speed. I thought you recognized his voice.
No, I did not.
No, he doesn't know me.
I
No.
visit you every now and then, Sidney.
Thank you,
I was
David.
visiting you yesterday for some goddamn reason.
I
Yeah.
couldn't sleep last night, so I went on and I presented Aaron Ra's refutation of a pastor's claim that there is a God and everybody knows it. I loved it. In fact, I had a really good sleep after that.
Nothing like Christians to put you to sleep.
Well,
Oh,
his reasoning was so good, and the whole thing was edited so well that it was one. I thought it was one of it was a 3-parter.
Is it
And-
recent?
I think it's fairly recent. Yeah,
I'll have to take a look at that.
yeah. It's either on my channel or on his channel. But I what I do is when I play those, I do a little bit of commentary sometimes.
I was watching something yesterday that you had on. Maybe it was Arn Ra.
Yesterday, I had Aaron Ra, and I also had a
No.
lot of Shani for Christ, and Shani and Jason.
Okay. John calls out Jason, nowhere to be seen. Arn Ra. I think it was Arn Ra sends Canadian Catholic back to the dark. Something like
That's
that.
right. That's right. I did that
Yeah.
one as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got a notification for that. But yeah, I like your stuff. That's pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
And I will put your channel in my description. Not that you need help. I think you're. Oh, you got 451. I guess we're almost neck and neck.
Well, if you're around when I go live, you're always welcome.
Okay, cool. I would like that. Let's see here. So let me put your channel in my description. Yeah, I've been thinking about, like, when I get up in the morning, I got a lot of stuff going through my head, and then I think I should start a stream and just start rambling. And then I always think, oh God, but maybe I should have production values.
I
And
did
maybe
that the other day. I woke up, something was on my mind. I started streaming. It turned out very well because it was so raw, Just
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, sometimes that might work. I think I should start doing that because by this time of the day, I'm ready to go back to sleep.
well,
Yeah.
I find that after a morning stream, I'm exhausted. I do go back to sleep.
Yeah. I go to sleep right after this thing.
Yeah.
Take a walk and go to sleep for a while and then wake up and figure out
I'm
what to do.
asleep right now, actually. I'd usually take a long nap during these weather reports.
Is that why you come and listen to that?
Yeah, I've trained myself to just say shit while I'm sleeping.
So
Yeah.
you know what? I want to tell you something. I'm not even slightly kidding about crushing Christianity. I am very serious.
Yeah, I am too. I think it is disturbingly problematic, especially when it comes to the mind and when it comes to applying what we know about the mind now to our lives and our culture. I think there's a whole lot of room for improvement. And until we get rid of this weird spirit mind thinking, where people think the mind is a spirit and all that bullshit, it is going to be. And the other thing is, oddly enough, alcoholism and drug addiction. We're going to do a stream with Amy Newman on this, but there's a connection between giving yourself to God and sobering up. And there's a reason for that. And there's a psychological, neuroscientific reason why that kind of shit works. And until religion quits claiming their God as being the reason for that, we're never going to truly understand what's necessary to make serious changes in your life of the nature that you need to make in order to recover from an addiction.
So let me get this right. Okay, so religion causes alcoholism.
No,
And then God helps you
Yeah,
cure you from
yeah.
alcoholism.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it does. But basically, there's something called a spiritual experience, which is an actual neurological phenomena that human brains encounter often in their lives. And there are many different levels of it. And it's been going on in every religion since the beginning of time. They've talked about it and documented these things. And unfortunately, when you have a religious experience, it's like a goose being hatched from an egg. The first thing it sees or the first thing it thinks, it will attach to. So if you happen to have this experience when somebody's preaching Jesus to you, it is likely that you will be born again into Jesus's arms. Or if they're preaching Buddhism to you, it'll be that. Or if they're preaching Islam, it'll be that.
Whatever you preach into the small little brain that's you're feeding with your nonsense, whatever you say, rational or irrational, that child will be tattooed with it forever.
Right. And it happens to adults too when they reach a low spot in their life, like everything is going to hell, right? And they're right on the bottom. I mean, they've hit the bottom so hard that they want to, they're suicidal, everything. And then all of a sudden they have this experience where they kind of give up. And as soon as they give up, a whole bunch of rewiring occurs in the brain. And if they happen to be near a religious doctrine at that time, then they will adopt it. Or if they're not, they'll create a fucking religion based on that experience, right?
Weak-mindedness.
Well, it's actually not that weak. It's an imprinting mechanism, and it's kind of sad. But you have to understand that when you have there's another name.
The mind is so powerful, and we know what the mind can do. So to use weak-mindedness to tell me that weak-mindedness is not an issue, and certainly something that I believe a human mind can overcome, then I think it must be just laziness on the part of the Christian who doesn't want to think.
Well, there's another name for a spiritual experience. It's nervous breakdown. They're the same thing. And when you have a nervous breakdown, there's a chance that you're in a vulnerable position. Yeah, and I guess you could call it weak-minded, but all the rationality in the world isn't going to save you. If you have a nervous breakdown, like the kind where they haul you away on a gurney and it's like, fuck, this guy is fucked, and they strap you down. At that point in your life, you completely give up a whole bunch of bias and precepts, and anything else that happens to be available. I mean, if somebody comes and starts funneling information into you, and if you aren't really well educated or well prepared for bullshit, you may well just start to follow that doctrine.
Well, that covers 90% of everybody, so you're probably correct there.
Yep.
Most everyone's just they're a wannabe something, but they're a nothing.
Okay, so I think Smokey's in the back room.
Smokey Saint?
Yep.
That little... you sure you want to be in the same room as him? I hear some very bad things about him. I've
heard bad things about him, too.
And his proclivities. I'm not sure if he's welcome. At least I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he hasn't been before. I have been... dissuaded by many people.
Yeah, I'd be quite as happy if Smokey Saint were relegated to the outside chat or wherever the hell he was than to actually be in the same room as him, because I don't know, it just feels dirty.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I don't think there are people who would appreciate it.
So what do you do about the people that I notice, and I always struggle with this. Especially in this community, we have a lot of highly educated people that are in this community that are just so dedicated to the Bible and to their religion that they will twist and make things fit to the Bible, and it's just so committed.
Of course, it's a fantasy. It's fiction. It's fiction.
Yeah.
You can make anything fit to it. Right. Of course, that's nonsense.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just like, what do you do with people like that are just, they're so committed? Like that whole debate the other night with Atheist Junior. Was it, which one was the one with, they were debating, now I can't remember who they would, it was on whether dinosaurs live with man. Is that Atheist Junior and Neff, or?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Kent Hovind and Dr. Dan, but it ended up being Atheist Junior and Neffy.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you're talking about, and I kind of did a little bit of battling in the chat with a few people, you have fun with some of the, and it's, they're just so committed. I mean, to actually believe that dinosaurs walk with man, I mean, you really have to be quite committed to your religion to come to that conclusion, right? I mean, that's
the point I was trying to make, is that it's not a rational thing at all. It's a powerful emotional takeover of your brain,
right?
And it's the same as these crazy right wingers and possibly even some really crazy left wingers. There's like an emotional takeover of your mind, and once emotion is involved, rationality is out the fucking window. And it really is hard. It really is hard once you have established a powerful emotional belief in your life. It takes a lot of rational chipping away at it in order to see any way around it. And I've tried to do that with my strict naturalism and my scientism, and tried to find holes in it, because I am afraid of how shitty our brains really are. I mean, they're wonderful. They do great things, but on the other hand, you can adopt really crappy beliefs easily.
Yeah, but it's a good thing you did that. I've been doing that too, and I've come to the conclusion I stopped doing that already, because there is no God. There is nothing but existence. There is nothing but reality. Just live with it.
Yeah, there you go. So you're a hard atheist, hard naturalist, strict naturalist as well?
Hell yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I cannot believe that anyone thinks different to me. It just doesn't, I'm not able to process that anyone actually really is being honest when they say, when they claim the supernatural. I honestly don't believe anyone in the world, the Pope included, actually buys into that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think most Christians would label what they believe natural.
Yeah. Yeah, they extend natural to
So you could say they're naturalists too.
Yeah, well. But the thing is, naturalism is all around us. So we're all default naturalists. We all believe in naturalism to the point that we prepare our food and we take, we know how to drive our cars, change the oil, whatever. We're all naturalists in that respect, right?
Can you think of an alternative?
Yeah. Sit around and pray for your oil to be changed?
No. Can you think of an alternative to rationalism?
To naturalism?
To naturalism. Can you think, what if naturalism isn't a thing? Okay, take it away. What's left?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing. Okay, you can't. It's like an irrational. It's like dividing by zero. You can't do it. There's just you can't fathom a non-natural environment. It just doesn't exist.
Well, here's the thing about supernatural, right? Supernatural is always about a human-like mind, a tool maker mind doing something to the universe without going through the material middleman, right?
Right. It's exactly. Supernatural is a mind. That's what this is what these theists claim.
It's always the mind.
Yeah, the mind, and then the natural. And how dumb of a statement, of an idea, of a concept can you really come up with? How much dumber than that can you actually come up with?
Yeah, and they don't always like to say that up front. They want to talk about supernatural. Like for me, supernatural would be if I walked out into my yard or out into the woods, and there was this little area about 20 feet across where all of a sudden everything started to fuzz You know, like nothing held together anymore, and there was like
Dedicants.
weird light coming out of it.
No, not to me. To me, supernatural would be going to the lottery store, buying a ticket, winning $25 million. Supernatural.
Super.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not really supernatural. That's just a
No,
lucky draw.
That's
No,
your
it's
opinion.
super, and it's natural. Well, in that
You
case,
guys-
supernatural to me is strawberry cheesecake.
You guys are fucking weird. You know that?
French.
What-
Yeah,
What did I
so
walk
what else
into?
is new? What else is new?
I don't know
French
who you
apple
are.
cream cheese.
Well,
Hey,
no one knows
Speed,
you either.
Andrew has a video he wants to share.
Where's Andrew? Oh, there's Andrew. Wow, he's right in front of me.
You said his name when he came in.
I did.
Yes, you did.
It must be. I must be programmed to
didn't
do
hear
that.
Huh?
Well, you can share a video if you want, Andrew. Andrew is a rational empiricist.
Hello.
Andrew,
Pleased to meet you.
share.
Okay, wait. Is it porno?
No. It's
Okay.
from SFT's video last night.
Okay, I just don't want to give blanket approval.
Shani
Oh,
for
from
porn.
Bill Morgan?
Shani for porn.
Yeah.
Porn bombed somebody the
Oh,
other
yeah,
day.
I
Did you
posted
hear
in the
about
private
that?
chat.
Well, I had. Okay, so you want me to pop that one up? I've got it right here.
Yeah, it should be about the hour and 45-minute mark, I believe, if I copied and pasted it correctly. It's just I asked them a question about related to phylogenetics, and they failed miserably, in my opinion. And
Okay.
it was so funny to me.
Well,
go ahead.
let's do some of the sciencey stuff. We like
Okay.
sciencey stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can share it when appropriate. I didn't want to derail the conversation going on here.
Too late.
Yeah, you fucking wrecked it, man. You wrecked our conversation. Okay, so 144.18 I've got. Is that an appropriate place to start it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let me put some headphones on so I don't echo everybody to death. Production values are us. We know what we're doing here. Can I hear you guys? Somebody peep.
Oh,
Peep.
Thank you.
well,
Sound
yeah.
test. Sound check. Sound check. Hang on a second. Unmute site. Okay. We're going.
That it was a God who started everything. And the second law of thermodynamics, that the universe had a beginning. So two laws of thermodynamics and only four.
And as you know, as an engineer, Bill, that's where the atheists fail, because the first law states, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking about the second law, where the law of increasing entropy.
Yeah.
Well, therefore,
Blah, blah.
This isn't the clip, by the way.
round it up.
What's that?
I said this isn't the funny part, by the way.
They don't
but
know their
keep going.
shit. They don't know their laws.
Okay. So am I getting to it close? Am I close?
Yeah, he's gonna post my question or highlight my question in a
Okay.
sec.
Yeah.
All the available energy would be gone.
There's fantastic questions are flying in,
There we
and
go.
we get a question, and then
Okay. Why do whales have the same bones in their flippers?
Well, he's gonna read it.
He is going to read it? Okay. So I
Yeah.
don't have to do it?
No.
Oh. Well, less work for me. Thank you.
the chat is just going too fast. I can't get it. So Andrew Cumming here reposted his question. Maybe we should get it. We'll answer it before we move on in the presentation. So Andrew says, why do whales have the same bones in their flippers as other tetrapods, while sharks lack bones altogether? Why did God create X in one and Y in another in the same environment? What would be your thoughts, I guess, on that, Bill?
Well, what was it? Alice in Wonderland. He always says, well, we got to start. Well, where do we start, right? We start at the beginning. So, Andrew, the beginning is I'm Bill. I'm not God. So I cannot answer for God. I would say that the shark
That's the
is a
first thing.
fantastic design that we in naval engineering are studying
Non-answer.
sharks and other sea animals for efficiency on reducing friction corrosion, etc., sound, that we are reverting to their fantastic designs. I would say the design of the whale flipper is perfect for what the whale needs. I think if you don't mind answering a question, you think the flipper on the whale used to be a foot of a mammal that lived on the land. Is that correct, Andrew? Could you answer that? But I believe the flipper of the whale was designed for a sea animal to move in the water. And I think that's a better explanation that it was a hoof of a foot that lived on the land. But I don't want to put words in
talking.
your mouth.
Jesus, he's talking nonsense.
Yeah, like so it keeps going for a few minutes, but like notice how I asked a question, he dodged the question, answered a different question, and then asked me a question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Typical creationist stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can I ask? Can you guys fill me in on him? I've only seen him a few times, but is he educated or what? Can you fill me in a little bit?
Heard of this guy ever?
He's a naval engineer, and he he claims to have been an atheist when he was like 15, and he was an atheist till he was 26.
Yawn. I don't believe that.
His mom asked him a question, and she said, "You don't seem as happy as you used to." And he came to some crisis, I don't know. And then he got religion, and then slowly or somehow he converted over to Young Earth. But he's like a naval engineer or something like that. And
I don't.
he loves witnessing. He does. He does an interesting thing out here. You know, and this whole show is about why are people atheists? So that's what it's about. And
You know what's
I
sad
think
is he's I saw him for a very brief moment on a stream, and he was talking about he must be I don't know if he does any like youth pastoring or something like that, because he was talking about some young people.
Oh yeah.
And, so that's pretty sad that
that was at the beginning of the beginning of this stream, or was it the other night? He was talking. He was witnessing. It was on one of Maddox's streams. He was witnessing to some young people, and so there he got these kids that are just full of angst and anxiety, and I think he was talking about depression, and he got them to pray, and it's like
that was it. Yep.
And that ties back to what I started talking about in the beginning, when you're really low and you're really vulnerable, and you haven't really thought about shit, or you're not well educated, you'll buy into any of this crap.
Right.
And then, and at that point, if you sit down and you're at the bottom, okay, you're completely stripped emotionally. And then if you do a prayer to Jesus, and all of a sudden you have this tremendous like rearrangement in your brain, which I think they've actually got brain scans of, then you will bond to Jesus like a fucking barnacle to a ship. And it's really kind of sad that
Praise
people don't
Jesus.
understand this. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Okay. I thought this part was interesting. I think I clipped it in the right spot. Oh, do you want to go ahead, Andrew, and comment more?
I was just gonna say there was more after that clip that I wanted to review, but that's okay.
Oh, well, let's go back. Let's finish you first, and then I'll do this. But unfortunately, let's see, where the hell? Any idea where we were?
There's also what we find in the design world when it comes
For a sea animal to move in the water, and I think that's a better explanation that it was a hoof of a foot that lived on the land. But I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, it also assumes that's a great answer, Bill. It assumes how the creator would create, and finding different designs in the same environment is also what we find in the design world when it comes to what we design. And, sharks and whales, although they exist in the water, in the ocean, they have incredible differences. Whales are mammals, for one. The skeleton of sharks is made up out of cartilage.
Yep.
Right. And whales have a skeleton made out of bone. And therefore,
and so do fish.
Now I know his example is tetrapods, but oftentimes we find whales having more in common in overall genetics, morphology, anatomy, physiology with land mammals than sharks. Well, given the fact that sure they swim in the water, but they are mammals, we would expect they would also share a lot of features with land
Danny
mammals.
gets, I guess. Okay, I want to read this really quick. Are atheists stupid people? No. Some of the most knowledgeable people on earth are atheists. Knowledge is wonderful. Knowledge is wonderful. ... But what's more important? Jesus is more important, right, Andrew?
Mm,
I don't know. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they're trying to say with this.
But anyway, Donnie there said he starts talking about, we're
Ignore me.
We have.
I'm joking, Speed. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. We have assumptions about how God designed things. Well, first of all, you have to assume God in order to have those assumptions, right?
well, right. Like my question is basically trying to get at what if the designer were really there, if design is really the correct hypothesis. If we're going to test it, we need to figure out what that hypothesis says about what reality should look like. So kind of just saying, oh, well, I'm not God, so I couldn't have done it is kind of sidestepping the burden of proof here, right?
Yeah.
Also, the fact that well, like you were saying earlier, like we share more in common with tuna, for instance, than tuna share with sharks. Why is that?
The one.
Oh.
Up there. Anyway, okay. Yeah, and I'm looking at some pictures of the bones in whale fins, and they sure as hell look like tetrapod. I mean, they got a race and an ulna and the whole thing, and they just sidestep all that. And
he just completely missed the point of the whole question.
Yeah, what is the reason for having that design in a flipper? And even the wrist bones are present, right? And yet the wrist doesn't, there's no wrist action. So
do they have too, like 5 digits and everything?
4, I think.
4?
Is it 4? Some have, let's see, dolphins have 5. Whales, I think they've got like a vestigial, maybe a thumb. I'm not entirely sure. There's a whole lot of, there are some differences. I guess, 5. But I mean, all of the bones are there. It's just that they're in an entirely different shape and they've turned into flippers. We'll show some pictures after.
Yeah.
Do you want to proceed?
I think so. I can't remember what came after this, but go ahead.
Okay. Well,
where we live, we drive cars.
Here we go. Cars.
Where the steering wheel is on what side of the car?
Oh my God.
The port.
Yeah, left. Yeah. The left side. But then if we were to go to Australia or Great Britain, where's the steering wheel? On the right side.
Right.
Okay, so it's a different variation. Why did humans do that?
Yeah, which presupposes God did it. But why exactly did God put those bones in the whale fin? I mean, there's got to be a reason for it. If they can't find a reason for it, then they aren't exactly doing science here. They're just
sorry, go ahead.
You see what they're doing here? They're saying, "Oh, we don't know," but then when it comes to abiogenesis, they insist that we have to know, right? So why the double standard here? I mean,
because
they have
all about God.
Double standard is their living.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So should we go ahead to the Nietzsche clip, or this gets back into religious topics?
Yeah, that's okay.
Wait, did you say Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche clip or Nietzsche?
Yeah.
What?
Nietzsche. Yeah.
This ought to be interesting.
Yep, I think it might be. If I got it at the right spot.
Why do whales
have
the same bones in their flippers as other?
Very good. So I'm not inventing the term that some people are haters of God, but people, you can repent of that. Stop the hate and turn it into love. Have you heard of this book, Donnie?
Faith of the Fatherless, The Psychology of Atheism. No, but it sounds interesting.
It's going to be on your reading list, I think. The author is Paul Vitz. He studied the founders of atheism and their roots. Disappointment in one's earthly father can lead to a rejection of God. The father could have died, he could be absent or mistreat the youngster. What two things do these people have in common? Nietzsche, Sartre. They're all geniuses for one. Freud. They all have two things, and many things perhaps, but two main things in common. Madeleine Murray O'Hare, Karl Marx, and Joseph Stalin. Two things they had in common. They were all atheists, and they had something else in common. Nietzsche had an absent father. He loved his dad, but he died when he was 5, and his dad was a pastor. And as you know, he became a very bitter, angry atheist. Sartre,
wow,
died when he was only 2.
Stop. What the fuck?
And he admits.
What the fuck is wrong? I don't even know where the hell to begin with that.
I know.
I don't even know where to begin with that. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a father. He was present the whole time. He was a bit of an alcoholic, but.
Well, now see, they would say that because your father was an alcoholic, he was an asshole, and that's why you're an atheist.
Yeah, but he was a real strong moral influence on me, and I don't know. He was really good to me.
Is it just me, or does that seem to be applying correlation, therefore causation?
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, it pissed me off too. I was that's where I shut him off last night while I was listening to him. It was right at this point. Anyway, but the whole thing with the father, that's the thing about Christianity. It's all about father, not mother, but father.
It's all about being a charlatan. That's what this is.
Yeah. Goodness. I was going to turn your mic up a little bit, one true, but you got to unmute for me. But anyway, there were a few other things in this clip, but I don't know. I highlighted a few. Bill Morgan is hard to listen to. I got his phone number, and I called him a couple times, but he didn't answer. He says I should leave a message.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think I have talked to Bill Morgan before on the phone for like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. So he gave you his phone number too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives his phone number out to atheists freely, which is kind of interesting. But share screen. Back to science.
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 Those are the kind of people that you'd love to talk to a person like that face to face. That would be, the best way to really, a guy like him,
Okay. Here's the humpback whale flipper bones. Why are there those wrist bones if there's no wrist turning, right?
That's a good one.
Just looking at this page with absolutely no explanations and no talking about it, just looking at this page and then thinking that creationism is, as a concept, diametrically opposed to what's on this page, you have to conclude, just looking at this page, that creationism is nonsense. It's fiction.
Yeah, and also I think it was like the ear chamber or something, something inside the skull of like that land mammal, that evolved into a whale eventually, is very similar to the whales that we have today, and to whales that they find fossilized, and none of the other sea creatures have that configuration in their skull. So it's not like people are just making things up out of convenience or desire.
Like, that really pissed me off. Like, what the just wow.
Oh, you're still on that other topic, Midday?
Yes.
The father thing? Yeah, it pisses me off.
Well, no, it's not just a father thing. It's the whole, it's conflating Nietzsche, Sartre. You know what I mean? It's like, Okay,
Yeah.
they were philosophers that talked about nihilism and existentialism, which existentialism is like a branch of nihilism, but Jesus Christ, like
Shows it real well. But Bill Morgan also says that the reason that he debated some atheists, I think, and who
and
it
hold on,
was,
I just want to say something. I just want to say something really quick, right? Just Friedrich Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche was a more stronger man than Bill Morgan will ever be.
yeah. But what the hell was I going to say? Oh, he debated. Did Bill Morgan debate AST, or did Bill Morgan was commenting on that AST that was on Modern Day Debate, and he said the reason he's an atheist is because he hates God, and it's like Bill Morgan is really stuck on this reason for atheism is that they hated their father or didn't have a father, and then they hate God, and it's like, no, I don't hate God because I don't believe in God. God has never been on my fucking radar. I've never had God on my radar.
It's just another form of conspiratorial thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but for the individual.
Okay, look at this. This shows the bones real well and are in color. It shows the ulna and the radius, and the goddamn whale has them. Why does a whale have them if there's no turning of the arm, right?
Right. And this is the whole thing I was trying to get at, Speed, with my question was why are these structures? Because if common design were true, if creation were true, surely we would expect structure to vary according to function. But that's not what we see. We see structure varying hierarchically according to, for lack of a better word, history.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's the deal going on here?
Yeah, you see these green carpals, the carpals in the wrist. Those are basically so you can articulate your fingers and your wrist. And
right.
the whale's fin does not do that. It just flaps. So there's absolutely no reason for this design.
There isn't. There isn't.
However, the reason we put steering wheels on different sides of the car is because we drive on different sides of the road. There is a reason. So I think, how does Otangelo put it? You have to explain why the whale has an ulna and a radius and carpals, don't they?
Oh, Otangelo has the worst explanations for everything.
I know. It's designed.
You're all designed.
Why are we just talking about whales? Why don't we talk about other sea creatures that were once mammals, like sea lions?
Wait, aren't humans technically fish?
In a holistic sense, yes.
Yeah, except fish isn't a popular category anymore, right?
Yeah, it really it's kind of a bad term.
Look at that dude.
Where?
On the screen,
in
the upper right. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
That would actually be a good question to ask these people. Like if tuna and sharks live in the same environment, and yet tuna share more in common with land animals like humans than they do with the sharks. Why is that? I doubt they'd have an answer to that.
Yeah. Well, they have answers to everything, but anyway.
The answer is,
what about penguins?
Designed that way.
Right. Or someone from the chat just said it has to be designed. There's no other way. That isn't an explanation.
Right.
I'm surprised.
There's a lot of ignorance in the theist mind, so we have to understand that.
I'm surprised we haven't drawn Otangelo today, seeing as how I had a picture of him.
Well, Otangelo's on record talking a lot of nonsense, so we could always turn to that.
Surprised he's not here. So I wonder if AJ is still going on over there with Batman.
No,
he
he's all
came
done.
into the side chat and apologized. Well, he didn't really apologize. He just said he was gonna be finished, but then
Yeah.
Batman came in at the last minute.
Okay. Yep. And he's got who is that? I don't know. I reckon that he's got Amy on there now. So I think he's still going.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Batman never shuts up. He will keep on going until.
Well, Batman left at some point.
Batman, that really? You must
That guy is really a piece of work. He claims to be a teacher, and he's scary. That dude is scary.
He's creepy. He should be kept away from children.
He was the one that was talking about killing gay people.
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you hear that? When he said that, he said it with no emotion.
Yeah.
He said that gay people make up at most 2% of the world's population, and no one will miss 2% of the world's population. You know, that type of creepy.
Yeah. I wonder if the students that he teaches, I wonder if their parents would like to hear that clip. I would like to hear that clip if somebody was teaching my kids.
Hey, Speed.
Yeah.
Comment from Chris Peacock just remind me of something else I want to say, which was there's kind of this whole argument against creation about how it's bad design or poor design, for instance, and I don't really like that term because I feel like it would be better considered contingent design. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
Explain.
No. So
Sounds like
I mean,
evolution to me.
oh, sorry. What was that?
I said, sounds like evolution to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the other thing that evolution, natural selection specifically produces what looks like design.
Yeah.
How so?
The interesting thing is that if there is a structure that's been around for a very, very long time, it will be extremely fine-tuned or well-engineered. So the
That's
longer
the
it's been around,
That's the thing. I agree.
the more engineered.
Yeah, when you see a building, you see the finished product in its perfection. You don't see all the design flaws and mistakes that go along the way until it's a finished product.
Yeah.
So why in animals do we not see the end, the perfection, the end result being perfection?
You can kind of
If it was created.
right. Well, you can kind of think of it like using the house as an analogy, like an inspector has a blueprint, and that blueprint in this case is kind of analogous to the DNA and the proteins of the body, and
Right,
how
but
it's
a
like
perfectly functioning house, a blueprint for a perfectly functioning house.
right. What I'm trying to say is that, like, say for instance, it has to be handed and copied on and drawn out again for each inspector, kind of like how DNA is replicated, but it's always going to be imperfect, and the house kind of shows. Yeah, maybe this is a bad analogy. Never mind.
The original blueprint is perfect,
Yeah.
so that doesn't work.
Hmm.
So the blueprint for the whale with the vestigial bones is a kind of a draft, not a blueprint. So what we're seeing, according to, if you're looking at it from a creationist point of view, has to be the draft and not the blueprint. So creationism is nonsense. It's fiction. It's irrational. Throw it away.
There we go. Our 11th dimension from the chat: a lack of foresight, contingent design.
Yeah. Okay.
Because evolution doesn't have a goal; it just works with what works.
Exactly. It's almost like science.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, Emery Moyna, or what do we got? Dork-off, we call him Dork-off. He did a video, "Can Creationists Accept Evolution?" the other day. And he was suggesting that what the hell do you want to do? he wanted to get rid of the word evolution entirely.
Yeah.
And he's working on his.
I'll bet he would.
Yeah. But he was talking about the difference between micro and macro evolution, and he wasn't making any sense at all. It's almost like he was talking about the difference between walking 10 steps and walking a mile, and claiming that you could never walk a mile, you could only walk 10 steps. And it just went right over his head. But he was doing a thing yesterday, and he is a piece of work, I'm telling you. Something else.
It's here's the problem with that. Like, we know these incremental steps can happen. We don't have a limit for it, and we have mechanisms by which those jumps, by lack of a better word, can occur, like duplication of genes and co-option and stuff like that. So what's the difference between the two?
Yeah.
They don't understand that it's a population change, not just an individual animal.
Evolution has
Right,
no goal.
speciation.
Obviously, it has no goal.
Have you watched this video?
It's not a mind.
Andrew?
Huh?
Has anybody seen this video?
Nope.
It's
36
an interesting
minutes.
one. Huh?
36 minutes?
Yeah, it's in his image, basically. Yeah. But I don't think I have anything bookmarked on it, so it isn't worth watching, but you might want to check it out. So I call him Dork-off. But he's got some pretty strong political opinions. If you go to his site, let's see, go to his site here. He's got some real strong right-wing crazy,
But he's a
batshit crazy. Like, Take the Ship was about all about politics in the Baptist church. And then woke medicine, he was talking about woke medicine. He was talking about not getting vaccinated and not wearing masks. And he just goes on and on and on. He's something else to listen to.
Wait. He said not to get vaccinated?
He wasn't giving any advice, but he was just trying to present the that woke medicine. He was calling it woke medicine, I think, and implying that getting vaccinated and wearing masks was being woke somehow.
That doesn't make
There's a gentleman that just showed up, Catholic traditionalist. Are you guys familiar with him? He's
Yeah.
what is he looking for a link? It looks like, I don't know.
He's just he wants to preach.
He's quite the he's almost like a Darth Dawkins
Yep.
type.
He's just a preacher. He's just gonna argue and insult you and call you names and
Danny. We don't need another Danny.
yeah. Oh, very, very. Yeah.
Well, think about this way, Speed. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, I don't know. We could go over and watch Atheist Junior's stream,
Like end it early?
Huh? What?
Why
like ending it early or what?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any qualms about ending early or whatever. Seeing as how AJ is going on over there, I kind of, like to support his channel.
Does he have guests?
I think he does. Oh, maybe he quit because there's only, let's see, he might have quit. Yeah, he quit. So he's done. So I guess I can't. God, I was looking for an excuse to end early so I can go outside.
Oh, here he is. He's calling us cowards. Okay.
All right, let him in. Let him in.
Yeah, let him in.
Yeah, let's add him. Let's have at him.
Yeah.
Let him into the hyenas then.
Yeah.
He's a very brave man. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hyenas want to. There's the link.
Thank you, Speed.
Yeah, we need it.
But you better moderate.
We need a. Oh God, really? Do I have to?
Everybody's gonna want a piece of them for sure. So
yeah, let's have a screen. There we go.
Yeah, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be mean to you guys.
Should we take a conveyor belt, have certain
Yeah,
amount of time for each person.
Best thing to do is to listen to the nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
please don't walk on them or
No,
try not to.
Yeah.
no. The thing is one at a time. That if it's a one at a time and we stick to it, it'll be cordial.
Okay.
What do you
Here we
got?
go.
You got questions for atheists, Catholic?
Okay, can I be heard? Am I coming in loud and clear?
Yep.
Really loud and clear.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so guys, let me see if you're honest atheists. Of course, obviously that's a misnomer because in reality, atheism is dishonest. But let's see here. If
Really?
I
That's the
go
way
ahead
you're
and
gonna
present a
start?
scenario, if I present a scenario to you atheists, let's see if you're going to give an honest answer to it. If you take, like, for example, a blank page and you draw a line down the middle, and on the right-hand side, you have a variable that represents all human beings that have physically died throughout the history of mankind. And on the left-hand side, you have a variable that represents all human beings that are presently alive today. Now, if the question is posed to you with regards to the variable on the left-hand side of the page as to whether or not those human beings will ultimately die a physical death, and you were to use the information on the right-hand side of the page to come to the most reasonable answer, what would that answer be?
Just based on that?
Yeah.
Okay, we have two variables, A and D, and we have more in the D class than we have in the A class. I mean, if we have nothing else to go on.
So
I'm
everyone
saying-
dies. End of story.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to decide based on just that model. I don't know where you're going with this.
I think he's saying that the conclusion is that everybody dies. That's
Well, I'm guessing, yeah. I mean, but if we have a lot more knowledge about humans dying than that, of course we know that everybody dies.
Well, we know that everybody who's ever lived has died. Everybody who's living now will die. I think that's what he's getting at.
Oh, okay, yeah. Everybody will die. Yeah. So,
Right.
okay, everybody's going to die.
Okay.
We're all going to die.
All right. Okay. So, see, you guys had no problem answering that. Now, I'm going to pose another scenario to you. And this is one you atheists are going to struggle with, and you're going to try to dodge, and you're going to try to slither away, because that's what atheists do when I present the second scenario, because you're not going to remain consistent.
Okay.
Again, you had no problem. Again, you had no problem
Everybody-
answering my first scenario, but let's see if you're going to answer the second scenario, which you won't. But we'll do it anyway. So now you get another sheet of paper. You draw a line down the middle, and on the right-hand side, you have a variable that represents information that's being conveyed from intelligent agents to other intelligent agents. And we see this, billions of times a day, maybe more if you don't simply include humans, but you include other creatures as well.
So living agents, in other words.
Intelligent agents, yeah.
Yeah.
So
living
intelligent, yeah. It's sort of like I don't know if you watch the Wild West films, the old westerns.
No, but I do want to
and you know how they send a telegraph from one town to another.
Right.
So it's one intelligent
Yeah.
agent
Okay.
sending information
That's
that's being received by another intelligent agent.
Catholic. It's
And so
living agent.
in fact, that's what we're doing right now on Discord.
Right. No
You're
one's
receiving
dead,
information
everybody's living.
from me. I'm receiving information from you, and we're both intelligent agents.
Yeah.
Okay,
get to the
so-
question.
So
We're
are
alive.
we all in agreement with regards to the variable on the right-hand side?
As long as we can agree that we're all alive while this is happening.
Yeah. Okay. How about the left side?
Okay, so on the left side, we simply have the variable representing information itself. Now, if the question is posed as to, with regards to the variable on the left-hand side, where the question is, where does information itself most likely ultimately come from? If you utilize the what we have on the right-hand side, the variable on the right-hand side, to answer that question, what would the most likely answer be? Now, this is your time, like I said before to your audience, that you're going to slither away and dodge, because this is what you atheists
really?
do.
What's
Really?
the question?
Okay, on the left-hand side, information itself that comes from non-intelligent sources. Is that what you're asking?
No, what he's saying is that intelligence itself, not wrapped around any physical shape, just sort of,
Okay, but that
just
isn't
sort of
the same
hanging in the
scenario.
air as information. It's something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, guys, this isn't hard. I've asked this question to teenagers, teeny boppers, and
I'm sure
they're
they've
able to
done much
answer the
better enough,
question.
right?
But I mean, you guys are going to slither away and dodge and act stupid, like you dumbfounded, like you don't know what question I just posed to you.
Or we
Okay,
have more
because-
information than that. We know
Because
more
I think
variables.
you're talking out of your ass when it comes to information.
Okay, notice, audience, what they're doing. They had no problem answering the first question with regards to the first scenario.
Okay, you want me to
With
answer
this,
the
they did
answers?
exactly.
Information is just
It's just
emergent.
prodding. It's just prodding. It's just being,
It's
being
just an
childish.
emergent thing. It creates. So the universe is evolving and
See, he's run
creating.
away. He's run
So
away.
He
that's
ran
your-
away. He ran
It was
away.
just trolling. It was just trolling.
Okay, first of all, if he's talking about information itself on the left side and he's talking about information from intelligent sources on the right side, then they're two different things. Where on the first scenario, he was talking about living humans and dead humans.
That's right.
And those are not two different things, two different concepts, right? So right away, he was trying to pull some fucking fast one. I'm not
Exactly.
sure
I've
what.
heard of this one before. It's just a troll, and it
Yeah.
means nothing. It's garbage.
Oh, and
The way I
then he
would have answered
runs
it- The way
away.
I would have answered it is, well, yeah, like a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old would think that a person, sent the information or created the information, but we're also a bunch of fucking monkeys that used to run and think that Thor was throwing lightning at us, or Zeus was trying to kill us, or there was a spirit behind a rock. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, same old nonsense.
What our first impression is. It's the study of information that will reveal.
That
what
is
we
why
should do.
sometimes you let these people in because they just embarrass themselves right out of the room.
Yeah, he did.
He on any place I've ever seen him. That's about how long he lasts. Maybe a slightly longer if people are being charitable with him. And he's just a moron. And he runs that same exact thing every time. It's like he thinks he has this gotcha thing. Like, I mean, the guy's an absolute idiot. He gets kicked off of every place he goes.
Well, he took exception to my muting him.
Yeah.
You muted him. That's
I
how he
muted
went
him
to
because, well, he was just starting to insult us, and his point
Yeah.
was over. And
Yeah,
he wasn't
he's-
going to answer my question because the scenario didn't make any sense. This fucking information argument. I see information as entirely physical. Okay.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's like electrons it's like electricity. Switch it on, there it is. Switch it off, it's gone.
Yeah.
So if all the dead people were on the left and all the information is on the left, does that mean Catholic traditionalist sees dead people all the time?
I think he eats dead people. I think he's
Maybe
one of
it
those.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He eats Jesus every Sunday.
Anyway, the
Well,
interesting.
Oh,
Go
sorry. What I seen, he was trying to get that intelligent, information comes from intelligence or something like that, right? That's what
Yeah,
he was trying to say.
I think that was his argument.
Their whole argument, and that goes back to this guy and Canadian Catholic and Darth Dawkins and Nephilim Free, Mr. Batman. Their whole argument is that before there was a creation like the universe, there was this mind floating around called God.
Yeah.
This all-powerful, all-knowing, all-everything mind.
And it's not
spoke.
physical either.
And the mind has a voice, and it spoke existence, it spoke the world into existence, or it puffed the breath of life into nothing. It's just the most childish fantasy I have ever come across.
Yeah.
Am I misunderstanding this? But wouldn't that have to involve two gods then, in order for there to be some kind of
Absolutely.
speech
Well, the
going
thing
on?
is, Genesis 1:1 in its original
Yeah. Who the fuck was he?
does refer to multiple gods.
Who the fuck was he communicating with when he spoke the word?
The word was to, I guess, to the ether, to the nothing. And the word
It's
is
like the Harry Potter magic. It's just same
in a
thing.
language that you can sort of understand. Even it's amazing.
Well, did he say abracadabra?
Sesame, open your mind.
Abracadabra.
So like in Harry Potter, what are they speaking to when they make the caster magic?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read that Bible.
And they get mad when we compare them to magic. That they're doing.
Can somebody explain to me who Amy Newman is? I've been hearing that name over and over again.
Oh, Amy. You don't know Amy Newman?
No.
Oh, you got to go to Amy Newman's channel.
Why? I'm here. Somebody can just explain.
Well, I mean, you should go to Amy Newman's channel and check out her midnight rants and her
saying
Bible
in
study.
In the future.
Well,
Not now.
Don't
go there now.
The Wikipedia version of Amy Newman.
The Wikipedia version of Amy Newman. Amy Newman is, I believe, working on a degree in IT, I think, but does wonderful stuff, just wonderful live streams and all sorts of debates on modern day debate, and just basically attacks Christians, I think.
I love Amy Newman.
Come on, Amy, just come explain yourself.
Come in.
And
Crushing
explain
Christianity 2021.
I want to do a screen.
Canadian Catholic is just another one of those atheist haters. He's one of those. He used to be, if you look back at his history, he's been around for a long, long time, and he's, he was a big Darth Dawkins sycophant. He loved Darth's arguments, and he used to use pretty much identical arguments as Darth for a while. But then I don't know, for some reason, he came up with that, taking the paper and splitting the line, splitting the two differences, and he come up with that, and he thinks he's got this gotcha thing that he's been using that for a long time.
Randolph,
he's just another typical Christian.
Randolph, how was your brush with Batman?
It was
you
interesting.
just on with Batman?
But I didn't get much of a chance to ask too many questions because Oz ended up conversing with him, which is fine. But the main reason is because Mr. Batman overcomplicates and says way too much.
Yeah.
So are you done with your paperwork? You're sitting inside again, and last time you said you had to get caught up on your paperwork. Oh man, must be a touchy subject with him.
Yeah.
Wow, I really pissed him off. I made Randolph Richardson quit. Rage quit.
No, you didn't turn his camera off.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't quit, he just turned his camera and his mic. So I mean, God, you really
damn. I
think he's gonna go pull out the plug at the mains.
He says someone's at the door.
Oh,
okay, let me go get that. I'll be right back.
No, don't worry, I'll get it.
Okay, thanks. Then I'll keep hosting.
Yeah, you got to keep your hand on the steering wheel.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I always forget that part.
Yeah, these StreamYards don't drive themselves, they're not like Teslas.
Fucking cops hate that when I forget that part.
Mm-hmm. To answer the question in the chat, I think that's because you throw that stuff on them, Alex.
What now?
Or should I? It's probably Smokey or somebody.
Alex?
Yeah.
What was the question?
No, Alex, I think it's somebody else. I don't know who Alex is. Where's Alex? Amy Newman, Crispy. What? I lost him.
That's because someone blocked him.
Oh, God damn it.
Sorry, that was me. I couldn't help myself. I only put him in timeout because of what he wrote. Sorry. I never ever
blocked him too.
Look, I don't mind if you time people out. I want you to warn me so I can capture the chat. Okay.
Sorry, was.
So
yeah.
That was the Christians. Who were Christians we actually going to let in here?
Yeah. Plus, it's way more fun to see there. No, just leave them. It's way more fun to have the comments.
I know, but that one just kind of pissed me off.
Well, if it's something that pisses you off, what you do is you close your eyes.
Yes.
I know. I never time. I like never time people out. Never get rid of them because I agree. It is fun just to go back
No,
at
I
them.
mean,
Have fun.
no.
Yeah, but
throwing
there's a
obnox-
limit. There's a limit.
It's fine to throw obnoxious people out, but I like to capture the chat so that I can look back and have evidence of their obnoxious behavior, so I know how to deal with them in the future. Because I
Well,
capture all of
he
that.
said whenever he meets an atheist, it smells like rotten eggs and he wants to puke. And that's the only kind of stuff he ever says.
That's how I feel about Christians.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a sock account for someone else.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have a very, very strong disdain for the smell of Catholicism.
I don't like it either.
I like Catholicism better than any other kind of
It's the
Christianity.
worst smelling religion I've yet come across.
Really?
Yes.
I think it's like rich with all kinds of like Latin and weird statues and all kinds of really cool, like it's kind of like being in a fantasy movie.
No. Catholicism smells unwashed.
Really?
Yes.
What's up, Andrew?
Smells greasy.
Speaking of, kind of off topic, but speaking of Latin, don't you think it's kind of funny that they make this distinction between micro and macro evolution, and yet also probably accept that that Spanish came from Latin, etc.?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do they accept the evolution of languages,
I don't know.
or did God create the kinds at Tower of Babel? I think God created kinds of languages. God created the Spanish kind and the Latin kind.
Which so between Adam and Eve, one was black, one was white, one was Asian, one was Oriental. How does that all work?
Well, one theory is that Eve had all these different eggs that God created, and they all had different DNA in them. So every egg was actually different.
I'll bet you that didn't come out until about 40 years ago.
So what you're saying is she wasn't actually their biological mother.
No, not at all. God's kids. Yeah, and I think that's how they get around it. That's standing for truth. And some guy had on the show that's their latest theory. And what do they call it? They call it chameleon Eve or multiple. I don't know. They've got a name for it. But that's one of their theories about why humans have so much variation.
Can I propose the name?
Yeah.
Amnio Eve.
Amnio Eve. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I had to duck out so abruptly earlier. Somebody came to the door. It's a neighbor who talks a bit. They're a bit long-winded. So, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Doing fine. I just like you just ducked out to not answer my question about your paperwork.
No, I do still have paperwork to do, and it never ends. But I was dealing with quite a heavy amount of it. In fact, here's a whole bunch of it right here.
Wow, that's paper.
Yep, and I need to make it work.
This is what the atheists do. They don't do their paperwork.
Randolph, what are you doing to the trees?
Now, this is interesting because I had a client years ago in the mining sector who was mining kaolin clay, spelled Kaolin. Apparently, most paper is not made with wood pulp anymore. It's made with clay.
What?
Huh. I didn't know that.
Been like this? Yeah, it surprised me too. So I guess I'm not hurting any trees here. I'm sure the lumber cartel will be very disappointed in me.
Trees are just big weeds.
Speed,
But they're
keep
nice
an
here.
eye on that chat.
Build tree
please.
houses in them.
You make the decision, Speed.
Hang on a second. Toss his ass out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's that?
Hope Amy can join.
Yeah, is that Catholic traditionalist?
Yeah.
Is a bigot, isn't they?
Let me toss him. Hang on a second.
They're
I'll do it.
posting bigoted comments in the live chat there.
Scott did it already. Speed.
Oh, I just blocked him entirely.
Right.
He's gone. He's gone until he comes back with a sock.
Oh, someone
Yeah,
I
blocked
wasn't
your
asking you to
speak on.
block him, but I'm just pointing out the comments is making terrible.
Yeah,
I got a question about
somebody
that
blocked
actually.
Chris. I think that was a mistake. Somebody
Hi, Amy.
blocked Chris.
Oh shit! Are you kidding?
No,
Oh
Who's Chris?
Christ!
that
I
was a
blocked the wrong
mistake.
guy. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's
let me unblock you.
Are we going to have to write out a long
Oh,
apology?
before you guys block him, I'd rather him hear this. I wish these guys would just talk with me because it triggers them so much. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what I do or talk about, it's just the trans issue. And then what they probably do is go into like some other channel and there's like these damn atheists. All they do is talk about transgender and LGBT people. It's like, no, guys, get over it.
It's
We're an
you.
accepting, yeah, we are an accepting Western secular community. Grow up, wear big boy pants. Let's talk about theology, philosophy, science.
Now,
Oh,
you say they should wear big boy pants. I'm sure you wouldn't object if they wear big girl skirts as well.
No, exactly. And if you're Gavin, just wear pants at all. That's all we're asking for, folks.
Or a kilt. Just a kilt. Make sure you got some boxers under it.
And yeah, I would rather, like, instead of Catholic traditionalists, just come on here, join the stream, and say that to me. That's all I'm asking for.
Catholic traditionalists. Now I'm requesting you join as well. You've got two people here requesting that you join in and speak your mind.
He's a coward, Catholic traditionalist. A coward.
I got a question about this. So, okay, so I get why that's offensive, right? But would it have been offensive if he says she's a male who is a woman?
Okay, Chris, I fixed your block problem.
See, that
Hopefully.
stuff doesn't. I don't find it offensive anymore because I have found when they are attacking my gender or my sexuality, it means their theological and ontological pinnings are weak. And so I would rather them come on and defend those because it'll take me like 10 minutes to get through the gender stuff. And then we can talk about, this concept about an all-seeing, all-knowing, powerful brain that's watching us 24/7, 365. I'm more interested in that.
Yeah.
I think.
That's just creepy.
Sometimes
That's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, there's a mind been creeping around since pre-existence.
Sometimes I wonder if they're insanely jealous of the freedom that us atheists have by not having to conform to some storybook or some religious doctrine or something.
I don't
They
think
always
it's
want
jealous. I
everyone
think
to
it's
conform to
anger.
their way.
They're angry that we found something that works, and they're just fucking angry.
And you know what really drives it home for them? What we found is nothing at all.
Exactly.
Do you know whether?
That makes me even more angry.
Okay, the real reason that they're angry is that they just want to sin.
So you might be onto something there. You must be onto something there because they always take the talk down to the genitals. Always.
Yep, obsessed with them.
Amy, are you familiar with Catholic traditionalists?
I was just going to say, and then when the Catholics, I was just going to touch on the Catholics, no pun intended there, but the Catholics seem to really get right into that, especially with children, and then they don't want the public attention once they get recognized for it.
And if I could just answer, I agree. And if I could just answer, David, that he is a member. I know he's the Darth Dawkins. He's a pre-supper, and he's on my Discord. And I'm not gonna remove him or anything. You're cool to hang out there. He just, in fact, I was actually going to. He keeps on posting these things that are like poltergeist videos, and then taglining the like, "What now, atheists?" And I watch these videos. And it's like, these are just objects fall. I don't know. Did an earthquake happen? It's just objects falling down. And so I would rather just do a video with Catholic traditionalists just trying to defend these poltergeist videos because I would rather say, what now, theists? Because this stuff, I don't know, sell it to the History Channel. I feel like they have a better buy than any of us on here.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. I just wanted to make sure you were familiar with him. I figure you would be familiar with him because he's been around for quite a while. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm still new to the whole presupp. I just learned about presuppositional apologetics probably within the last year. I find it there's a mix between annoying and funny, and so it depends on which route you take it. Because it just, to me, they're like, all right, guys, we clearly cannot defend this Jesus thing. That was not working. So what if we go through an entire Philosophy 101 course really quick? Don't allow, and there, we only allow yes or no, and then we just put God at the very bottom of our little chain here. Think it'll work? And there we go, presuppositional apologetics.
Wow. And the easiest way to get back at them for it is to precept something else that is below what they're precepting.
Interesting. Can you give an example? Do you have something in mind offhand?
Existence. That's what I always use.
Oh,
right, because it leads to a conundrum, right? So if God does not need existence, right? If God creates it, put it this way: if God creates everything, that includes existence, which entails that God doesn't exist. So existence has to be below God, otherwise God couldn't be in the first place.
So it's a paradox.
I agree with that one.
So they have to agree with me, otherwise they're saying their God doesn't exist.
And then they're still saying he doesn't exist. Yeah.
There's also an interesting technique. Oh no.
I was going to say it's like saying before creation there was nothing, and the only thing there was God. So God is nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, well, another thing to argue against them, which I've seen Pine Creek do lately, is to argue their religion. Because they don't argue religion, funny enough. In fact, if you say God or you talk about Christianity, their initial response will generally be like, well, I wasn't talking about God. I didn't bring up Christianity.
Yeah, right. It's funny. Darth does that, and Little Peepee, he's the same thing. I'm just talking about an intelligent agent. I didn't even mention God. He's another one. Will never do that. He won't argue his God at all.
Yeah, and SFT, who, by the way, is in the live chat.
Yeah.
Oh, standing.
SFT.
The only reason he comes into my live chat is so that he can distract people by talking about movies, so they don't listen to the content.
What an interesting tactic. What kind of movies?
You got to hand it to him.
Pine Creek's tactic of just saying, okay, no, I'm wrong about everything. Now let's talk about Jesus is great.
I sure hope those are 80s movies that SFT talks about.
Hey, Speed.
On good days.
Yes. I'm showing you something on the screen. What?
Oh, or I was just going to say, when you're done here, I have a question for Amy, but go ahead.
Oh. Maybe I'm done. This is John Maddox's wonderful. I love when they discover logic, or they think they discovered logic. Actually, somebody put this into logical form for Maddox, and this is their semantic argument, and it is so ridiculously juvenile. You've got three premises that all, and I think the conclusion is right in the premise one, right? And they're trying to prove that life is immaterial,
which is cheating.
Yeah, it's kind of cheating, but here's what the argument looks like. So P1, P2, and P3, therefore Q, and then you grant P2 and P3, and so you're done. Q. It's like, what the fuck? And they had the guy that put it into logical form. I improved it so that you could really see what was going on here. But anyway, this is basically how you do it.
I mean, includes the conclusion.
Yeah. So okay, if P2 and P3, then Q, and you're proving Q, and they grant P2 and P3, and of course it's going to prove Q.
Well, that's
and so,
circular.
Yeah. Well, the conclusion. It's an actual valid logical argument, but you've got too many. Basically, you've granted all the premises you need to prove it. You can see it in the first line that you're going to prove Q, or first three. You can just glance at the premises and see it. But it's a valid, it's a valid argument and a valid proof of Q. But it is so juvenile that they would never give this to you in a first year logic class as the very first problem. They would give you something much more complicated than this, because this is just stupid. Anyway, that's one.
Like children could understand. I mean, they wouldn't understand the notation, but children could understand the argument.
Yeah.
Actually, I showed that to my 18-month-old grandson, and he understood it perfectly.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, his first word, he spoke his first words after that going, duh. So,
yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I just love when they discover logic and they think that they can actually put any premises they want in the fucking beginning and then to prove their conclusion. It's just
now when you say discover logic, you don't mean they've discovered all of it.
No, they just discovered it's like they came upon it, it looked cool, and they decided, oh my God, we can use this against the atheists. You know, it's like anyway. Andrew, you had a question for Amy.
Yes.
I have one too. But you go.
And I hope this question hopefully pisses SFT off. Amy, so sharks and tuna live in the same environment, the ocean, right?
True.
Why is it then that tuna share more in common with humans than with sharks?
Dun, dun, dun. Because evolution doesn't just work in a straight line. And we share common ancestors with different chains, meaning that I think we actually get our backbone from that specific line of fish, and we are further away than sharks.
Yep.
Boy, I tell you, the homophobic theists are going to be so upset to hear that evolution is great.
Dun, dun, dun. Evolution.
Evolution isn't straight. That's what they're going to do.
That took me a second.
I think evolution is Christianity's Achilles heel, and
it's one of them. I think they have multiple.
It's got to be the greatest one, the absolutely greatest one, because there's no room for creationism with evolution being a fact.
And the reason, well, they go after abiogenesis. What happens is there's either two routes, because evolution is a fact. They either deny it or they kick the can back saying, well, it can't be true because how did it all start?
It's an
like,
emergent,
that's not how this works.
Everything is an emergent property. Life is an emergent property of the evolution of what came before it. It's if we don't quite understand the exact mechanism yet, we will. There's no cause for God, no cause to panic.
I mean, didn't the Pope accept evolution? Wasn't that one of his things?
He did. It still makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think the explanation is that God just created all the creatures and then they evolved.
And the Pope is Catholic?
Well, then how did... If God created all the creatures and they evolved, then why does Darth Dawkins and Nephilim Free and Mr. Batman, why do they all argue vehemently against evolution?
Oh. Well, I mean, they all think Catholics aren't real Christians, for one.
Oh, Speed.
What?
A recent friend of mine just showed up in the chat. Hey, Scold. How are you doing?
Scold philosophy?
Yep. We discussed some things on LPPs, or one of Maddox's streams the other day. We had a good chat about Big Bang cosmology and stuff. So nice to see you, Scold.
Hey.
And that's true. I was just reading in chat, like Brainbug says, technically speaking, we are all, since everything was the parent, same species as the parent, and your kids are the same species, we are still technically the same line of fish. We are just more down the chain. Also, sharks almost went extinct a few million years ago, completely off topic, but I just saw an article on it. They almost had a mass extinction. Poor
really?
sharkies, but they're doing fine now.
Are
Yeah,
Batman and Nephilim are they a different kind?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Some people
No,
say
they're a
sharks aren't
stupid
kind at all.
kind. They're a stupid kind. They're a special kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm 50% bananas, by the way.
According to Ray Comfort, the other 50% is apples.
When we got to talk
the
about
other
this one?
50% is bananas.
Amy, when we got to talk about this stuff?
And
this?
so I was going to ask James when he gets off tonight, but basically I just got to figure out when all three of us match up, and we'll do the exact skeptic and ranting like we did. And yeah, I think you were about to say something. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this is a website or a site that I get emails from every day, and this is about secular AA, and it's bigger in Canada than it is in the United States. Go figure. Basically.
Well, all the atheists from America have come up to Canada.
Yeah, we flee.
All the alcoholic atheists.
Wait, why would you make an agnostic or an atheist AA? It's just
why?
Yeah,
that's what Amy and I are going to talk about.
Because like AA's been shown not to work.
Yeah, because of the higher
boy, we have a lot to fight about, but we'll do that another time.
And actually, I want to. I'm trying to think of the exact language. I think the word is recovering without religion. That's the logo I think I want to work on. It's like basically a secular version of that. Because I want to go over the actual 12 steps that we teach here. I think why it works for speed is coming from a Buddhist background. And so I think when you take it away from the monotheistic religions, we might get better results. Who knows? I think that's what Speed wants to talk about.
Oh, maybe.
Why don't you focus the title away from religion and call it rather, secular?
Secular recovery or something like that.
Secular recovery.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Anyway, there have been a few very, very confusing and misrepresented studies on AA that have indicated that it's like 5% successful. But if you look deeply into the studies and into what they're saying and how they did their math, you'll find out that that's not the case at all. Anyway, but
I thought they were right on the nose. What a lot of people have issue with them is how are they determining who's in AA or not?
If you take the average AA meeting or meeting group over time, what is the recovery rate of everybody in the group? Maybe it's 5% of every
70%.
Well, according to them, it's 0 because once the alcoholic, always the alcoholic.
Yeah, well,
non-relapse.
We're talking difference between cure and recovery. I'm 14 years sober, and if it hadn't been for AA, I would not be. And I know that, and I know hundreds of other people who have sobered up in AA over the years. And the thing is that AA doesn't give a fuck what anybody else thinks because they don't allow, like we don't allow people to come in and keep stats on us or ask us questions. The only way they got those studies is from the courts. They were court-ordered people that were court-ordered into AA, and they participated in some of those studies, and they're just skewed as hell. But
well, no, I mean they went off that, right? But that's actually a perfect thing to go off of because those are the people that don't want to get better, right? So you're looking to see if they actually get fixed,
right?
Because you're trying to separate it between the people that don't want to get better but do get better, and the people that wanted to get better, right? Because the people that actually really want to get better, I don't think they actually need AA.
Well, you have to at least want to get better before you're going to get better.
Well, yeah, I think the increase in recovery between the people that want to get better and people that do that and want to go to AA is almost nothing.
I've heard that lobotomies work really well.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
So does Thorazine.
Yeah, the best recovery rate of all is lobotomies.
And the main thing I just want to remove is just any other dual motivations. If you are going in there to help people like a counselor, Your only motivation should be to help this person be the best person that they are. And that doesn't mean, generally speaking, to preach your religion, unless they ask you for that. They ask you for that, go ahead. But anything else, it should be focused on just getting better.
Yeah. And well, we'll get into it on your stream, but there's a very big difference in AA in the North or in Minnesota and some states in the North than there is down South. And there's a reason for that. Just like there's a very big difference in the creation battles, or getting creation into education. It's not a thing in Minnesota. It's not anything that would ever appear in front of our legislature. There's a reason why the South sucks.
I would like
anybody from the South?
Makes sense.
And ironically, like most things with the church, ironically, Jesus' blood is 100% wine.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's a miracle right there.
So Jesus causes alcoholism?
Jesus must be an alcoholic if his blood is 100% wine.
Yeah,
let's follow this through. So what Jesus touches, he can make it water turn into wine. So if he touches himself, that would make him an instant alcoholic.
There's a statue of Jesus doing just that in Italy somewhere. So young Jesus.
That's why Jesus didn't masturbate.
Oh no, he did. No, he did. I've got the napkin of Turin.
Apparently, neither did Midas.
Oh, that'd be scary.
Oh my God, Otangelo believes in that Shroud of Turin thing, and
it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, and he believes that they discovered the fucking Ark.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the picture they used to confirm that was Jesus in the Shroud of Turin. I really want to see the picture they used.
I love how Otangelo reacts.
Believe it or not, those two things. Yeah, those two things are actually on the top of the list for Otangelo.
Yes, he
believe it or not.
When he was on digital
as
Gnosis,
proof for God. Yeah.
That was on. I put that. I put a link to that video on digital Gnosis with Otangelo in the description. By the way, in case anybody cares.
When they tested the blood on the Shroud of Turin, didn't they find that it was woman's blood?
I don't know.
I seem to remember that from somewhere.
I thought it was ochre.
Oh my God!
I thought they tested it and there wasn't any blood on it or something. Or I
thought it was O.J. Simpson.
There was a test done that I don't remember the results of.
Well, blood doesn't contain DNA.
I lost 2 subscribers today. You guys must suck.
I lose 2 every day.
YouTube has been accounts lately, and they sometimes unsubscribe people if they think the relationship was not
working out.
Yeah, no. Like if they think that it was done by mistake, because they've got algorithms. Apparently, they're looking at the patterns and making wrong decisions about who to unsubscribe. They shouldn't do that at all, in my opinion.
Oh, great.
Well, I mean, we did block.
At all, are we?
I noticed this with True North Talk. When we set that up, we got about 98 subscribers right off the bat, and then it dropped down to about 48, and then it gradually went up. So I think they're looking at their algorithm probably thought this is an anomaly and cut a bunch of them out.
We did. I want to add that we did block 2 people not that long ago.
We did, but I typically gain like 3 or 4. I gain 3 or 4 a day, and then I always lose 2 a day for some reason. It's really weird. It just keeps going, just keeps oscillating, but it keeps going up by a couple of days. So
then don't worry about it.
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing.
It keeps going.
They're probably just dyslexic Christians that think it's answers in theism.
Yeah, right. And then they unsub.
Answers in atheism, right? And they think, oh well, it's Christianity, obviously.
Yes, and we do have your answers right here. If you like, I really want to talk to some of these Christians that are like Bill Morgan, and I want them to ask me these questions that they always ask about just wanting to sin and hating God and not having a daddy and all this bullshit.
Yeah, Do you know, it's been so long since I've actually had a theist ask those questions. I can't even remember what I originally said.
Oh, they do it every day on SFT's channel.
Oh, well, yeah, that will
praise.
be. Yeah, that's low hanging fruit, isn't it? Really, but yeah.
Oh, Praise went after who did he go after? Fodor, James Fodor yesterday or last night.
James Fodor? Wow.
Yeah.
He's such a nice fella.
Yeah, he's a nice lad, isn't he? I like him.
Yeah, and to hear Praise calling him an idiot and all kinds of other things was kind of funny. James Fodor, the incompetent ultra crepidarian. That's the name of the thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, that's doing a PhD. Yeah, that guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the live stream yesterday of Praise, and then I was even tempted to join, but I didn't because Gavin joined. I don't want to have anything to do with Gavin, and there's it's just he's disgusting. So, but Praise ended up. I asked him about his Joel Osteen picture in the corner, where he has an animation of a puppet version of Joel Osteen who's throwing a bunch of cash away. So he gave some history about it because he does not like Joel Osteen. And so he thinks he's just too much about the money. He wants it to be more genuine. But then he made me a moderator in his chat. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, you are a star of our community, Randolph. I've got to say it. If no one else does, I'll say it. I heard about you long time ago.
Yeah, here it is. I got it on the screen.
James Fodor, the incompetent ultra crepidarian. What's an ultra crepidarian?
Ultra crepidarian.
I got to kind of sped up a little bit.
Does it really need?
Person who expresses opinions on matters outside presenting our faith. We call this steelmanning. I don't think he can ever steelman our position. So when you want to be iconoclast. You want to be iconoclast.
You can see Joel.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, yeah, there was some good humor on that stream. So.
Wow, that's surprising.
Oh no! Don't lose the stream. There's one part in there where they start yelling at each other.
Really?
Let me get the timestamp for you because I mentioned it to somebody. I'm just going to look it up.
Gavin has been getting hammered the past like 3 or 4 days on his basic doctrine. They really been hammering him pretty hard.
Oh, I thought you meant he got hammered.
No, on that, once saved, always saved, I think, garbage that they've been fighting over. They've been hammering Gavin pretty hard lately.
Yeah.
Do they not understand that that's been a debate for over 1,000 years?
Put it in the private chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find that.
Unbelievable.
So 154. The yelling part. Awesome.
Oh yeah. A couple of them start yelling at each other.
54.
That's good enough. Yeah.
Good enough. 10. Yeah, right there. Okay, I'm gonna drop a bookmark.
Claims that they know that universalism is a heresy is a fool.
You one.
I'm not a universalist, but I could make a damn good argument for it that you couldn't refute.
I can prove it's wrong. That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Here's the deal. You guys all have to understand. All these ideas depend on our interpretations of the text. So all we should be able to do is say, I believe this. You believe what you want to.
It gets better.
But you just contradicted what you said there because you mentioned interpretation, but then you're saying that you are right and he's wrong.
No,
you said interpretation.
No, you didn't listen closely. I'm not claiming to be right. I'm not a universalist. I'm saying I could make the biblical case for universalism in front of this man, Smokey, who thinks he's a genius, who's ignorant. He doesn't know church history. He doesn't know the
How do you know that he thinks that he's a genius?
He doesn't know the argument behind
you're making a claim about somebody. No, I want to know how you think that he thinks that he is one, because I've never heard him.
He's not
say
a
that.
universalist. No, he's claiming universalism
I'm
is a
talking
heresy.
about a genius. I'm talking about a genius. And
Okay,
see,
I'm saying he's a fool. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I say that you're a fool then.
Well, that's fine, but
Yeah,
I can tell. You know why he's a fool? Let's have this discussion. The reason I'm calling him a fool is because he claims universalism is in fact a heresy. He can't know that, and he doesn't even know. He's so ignorant. He doesn't even know he doesn't know. He doesn't even know he doesn't know, and you don't even know you don't know. I guess
that's his interpretation, though. That is his interpretation.
That's right.
Walk away. Walk away.
No,
walk away.
No, he's a fool. He's a fool. No, it's wrong for him to call universalist Christians heretics when they're
He's just a human being.
He's a sinner.
Do you understand that he is just a man? Do you understand this?
Object up and down when some Christian who calls himself a Christian is treating other Christians in an unchristian manner by calling them heretics. When
You're not the church police.
He doesn't know shit
You're
about
not.
it. He doesn't know their heart. He doesn't even know if universalism is a heresy. He couldn't show it from the Bible. He's such a nitwit.
Yeah, I could. I told him about it yesterday.
God, Smokey, come in here. Let's debate this issue. Let's see if universalism is a hypocrite.
Oh my God, does the shit show keep going on? Or?
Oh yeah. Did you? Did anybody catch Gavin apologizing? I think is in this stream at the end. Gavin was apologizing to Smokey, and that turned into a shit show too.
Oh, really?
Wow. Someone tried to make nice with Smokey, and he decided to reject it.
Yeah.
Smokey did a thing on Gavin this morning in his morning coffee, I think. Yeah. Does Smokey come in here? There he is. He's in here.
This is
was
the one.
That one person yelling? Was that one person yelling so much named Olive Branch?
No.
No, I don't know.
Because I thought that was ironic as hell.
That is Olive. That's Praise's sister. Yeah, the girl that was talking is Praise's sister.
Oh, that's Praise's sister. Okay.
Yeah, but the guy that was yelling was not Praise's sister.
No, the girl he was arguing with was Praise's sister Olive.
Well, yeah, but he was asking who's the one who's doing all the yelling.
Right.
Okay, so this is the hangout where Smokey, who made Wild Eden have a prayer that was to end that if either of them were wrong, they would die. Okay, this was a curse brought down by Smokey, apparently.
Really?
Really? Yeah, I'll get you a link if you like. Hang on, let me just finish.
Timestamp.
Yeah. I don't know where it is in this particular, the one that they're watching, right? You see the one they're watching? That's the one it's in.
Okay. It's in
but anyway, the point being here is that Smokey did this thing where he was challenged, and he decided to say, "Whatever, look, we'll have a prayer. Whoever's wrong, right, will suffer the consequences that God deems, up to and including death."
Wow.
Now, someone called Smokey out for doing this, for cursing people in the name of Jesus or whatever, and they called it some kind of prayer or whatever. I can't remember, but as proof, Smokey said, "Well, she's basically, just some random woman. She's really. I saw her on camera. She is a girl. Somebody called her a man." And he said, "No. She is a girl. I saw her on camera. She's really like obese. She's not at all. She's a waif. Beautiful looking girl. She's a waif." And then he turns around, and Smokey turns around, and anyway, she's dead. I spoke to her today about it. So, just Smokey pulling shit out of his ass as always. All right.
Wow. Does anybody remember him I think he did the same thing, this type of prayer, the death prayer, a long time ago. This is going back like probably 8, 9, 10 months ago, a year. I thought he did something very similar, but that
we
was
got to
back.
get that.
That was a long time ago, and it was before, like, the shit wasn't hitting the fan like it is today. Like, he was just to get into going after Christians way back then.
I will try and get you the prayer, okay, right now. Just
wait a second. Yeah, I mean, not that it's real, but isn't coercing someone into killing themselves murder?
No, it's not killing themselves. It's just God's justice,
manslaughter
or
anyway.
whatever it is.
Well, yeah, but you're asking God to do it, right? And then you're trying to get them to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like saying, yeah, of course, them jumping off the bridge, they didn't kill themselves. It was the floor.
Yeah.
But no, they just killed themselves, right? Doesn't this make Murdy? Doesn't this make Smokey an attempted murderer?
Yeah, shit. I've tried using that defense.
Okay, here we go. I've got it. I found it. It's in the private chat. Okay.
I'm waiting. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let me pop it up. Smokey Saint Death Prayer. Awesome. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, this is good. I get excited. Okay. I got to switch. Production values are us. Here we go. Okay. What the fuck about what's happening?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I never know.
That's normally what someone says right before they get taken into the past or the future.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, ready? How long is this long? Is it?
Oh no, it's 3 minutes 57.
Forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You
now
got to do the
that you
sound.
said your
No,
piece,
up there.
you confirmed that you're absolutely certain I am in the wrong, to challenge you as being in the wrong. Okay, and you believe that I'm better out of the environment than I am in it. So what I'm going to do...
The YouTube environment, let's make this clear. I'm not looking for you to come to any harm, any physical harm.
Well, it's my prayer.
And as I also said...
No, stop. You're not going to change the terms of the prayer now. I said, we pray, hold on.
The terms are yours. I accept your terms.
Okay, then I am going to pray that we are corrected and chastised up and including unto death. Now, you need to be able to affirm that so that when I pray it and we say amen, that you are actually agreeing you will receive, or I will receive, chastisement and correction from our Lord, even up unto death if we are belligerent. Do you agree with that?
Go for it.
Beautiful, let's do it.
If you have the courage of your
I'm doing it right now. If you'll stop talking, I'm doing it right now. Okay, beautiful. Heavenly Father, we come to you in humbleness, Lord, in appreciation for your wonderful work that you did with your Son. And Lord, we have an environment where souls are being compromised and lost, where truth is being implicitly defended, where heresies are running about and people are attempting to protect them from being called out. Lord, I have been challenged by wild behavior. I have been said to be in error. Now, Lord, I do not wish to be in error or in offense to you. I, as claiming to be a Christian brother, to be a Christian child, I do want to have your correction. I do want you to send correction if I am doing it.
It was a good acid trip at first, but...
To send me correction where I'm in error from my brothers and sisters, my true brothers and sisters, who are connected to you also in the Spirit. Now, Eden has come here and has proposed in her understanding that I am in error. So, Lord, I request and ask for your intervention. Your intervention and chastisement upon whichever of us is in error here, up to and including our death. Up to and including our death. Up to and including our death.
Whoa.
Lord, I do not wish any offense to you, any offense to the cross, to defame you.
Like I said, it was a normal acid trip at first, but then it just went all
I
downhill.
only wish to call out damnable heresies, things that are threatening to bring people.
I'm going to have to put an epilepsy warning on this video.
And to serve you and to your greater glory.
Can you turn it up? Is it on max?
And I am beyond chastisement. If I am truly, as these heretic promoters and God haters claim me to be, then remove me. Up and including unto my death, and remove Eden, up to and including her death.
Whoa. These people are serious. Oh my goodness, is that it? Oh wow, holy shit!
Yeah, no, I don't.
Make sure you sub to her channel. She does
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
Okay. So what you got two options. Either he doesn't believe any of this, so he's a bigger troll than we even think he is, or he does believe this, and he's willing to kill people for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
interesting options.
I put in the chat the what he was saying about it with a little timestamp there. So if you wanted to hear him actually say that just insult her straight out when they start calling him out for doing this.
You put it in public chat?
In private chat.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just keeping a tally over here. He's a kitty fiddler and I guess also an attempted murderer. Is that stacking up the charges here? I could say suspected kitty fiddler.
Thank you for being correct there, because as far as I know, and it hasn't been shown in court to be the case.
Well,
it did almost get there, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it almost got there.
Well, no, I'm sure the authorities go around accusing anybody and everybody of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm ringing the bell on that channel.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a mix of both emotions. I will say I was giggling through the first 30 seconds through a minute. And then it started getting really serious. And I was like, oh man, this must be what a bad acid trip. It just it became skulls and blood. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's what happens when you do the brown acid, that second part.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Shit. Oh, hell. Anyway, cool. So, guys, coming up on 4 o'clock, you know what I like?
Wait,
shoot in the head.
I was going to say anal.
Oh, that's a bad thing. That's funny. I say that as a joke, and then it triggered the AA. I'm so sorry. Okay, but going back to the nicer thing of shooting in the head.
Oh. Okay,
Stay curious.
Kent Hovind calls an African. Oh, okay. So Atheist Junior just posted a video in public chat. And
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Fucking Kent.
So, let's see. Okay, hang on a second. So
you can't. I mean, it's generations, isn't it? I mean, but really.
Anyway, I have to put that in my description. Okay, got it. And what was the name of that channel? Wild Eden.
Wild Eden, yeah.
Wild.
She does Blender art. She did the intro for my channel actually.
Okay, guys. We're gonna shoot it in the head. What do you think? You like that? And Top Dog already said, "Stay curious."
Just to claim, the reason that I wanted to play that is because in this other video, Smokey said that she was actually dead, and that he was right. Therefore, he has God behind him. Yeah, I was told that by Wild Eden. Funnily enough,
it's all fun and games till somebody loses an eye. God, those guys. The way they go after each other on Praise's channel is just amazing.
Yeah.
You just feel the brotherly love, the Christianity, the fucking Jesus just seeps into my soul when I listen to Praise. I love it.
Yeah,
anyway,
the doctrine.
There's no hate like Christian love.
The doctrine fighting has really picked up, right? In the past, month or so. That has really picked up quite a bit.
Well, yeah, and if you chart it according to the presence of a certain individual on YouTube,
yep.
I mean, the correlation is just too much to deny. I mean, we know exactly where it all comes from, and it's just amazing. It's amazing that they keep falling for it over and over again. Absolutely amazing. We had him in the back room for a moment, but I didn't fall for it. So.
And the one person that seems to think he has the right doctrine, he's got it right, and everybody else is wrong, right?
And
How do you figure that?
He's splitting all of them apart over and over again, and they form coalitions, and they separate, and they come back together and form new coalitions.
Yeah,
it's like evolution.
Yeah,
it's because they.
Well, it's like the history of the church, to be fair.
Yeah,
well, exactly. They have to schism because the atheists, I think, don't schism, even though we're cats. We are all just basically like, hey, it's just the science. And the science, even though it changes, doesn't change that dramatically. And everyone generally comes on board with consensus. When it comes to the creationists who are just making this shit up, I mean, I listen. They talk completely different when they talk to atheists and when they talk to Christians. Excuse me for one second.
Yeah.
When they are talking to other Christians or even Christians versus Muslims, it sounds like Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings. Like, I can't even follow it sometimes. Like, it is completely different from how they talk to us and the skeptics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they lose me
when
when they get deep into the doctrine. They just lose me. I mean, because I care so little.
Yeah. I find it funny is that, when you look at the whole thing, it's like they're arguing over something it's just a storybook. They're just stories. That's what they're arguing over.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it like fucking crazy. Like,
and the way it's written in so many different languages.
It's like you said, Amy, it's like they're fighting over Lord of the Rings. It's like they took a book and they take it literally and they're fighting over it. That's just
like
stories.
Like, you should hear, and I so agree, Benghazi. In fact, maybe I should really just say skeptics. But you should hear how they, bash people for, praise having non-Trinitarian views. They do, rage streams over this, and it's like, I don't know, to the atheists, it just seems like so odd how angry. It's just like me with the transgender thing. They get disproportionately angry for what to me is very minutia things.
You know what's really funny? They'll throw you out of the chat for saying "damn." Yet they're saying "motherfucker," and they're using every word of it. When they get mad at each other, they just drop all of that. But you get thrown out of the chat for using the word "damn."
Well, that's because it's not based on principles. It's based on protected classes.
Yeah, very
yeah. Look at that big rage thing with little Pee-Pee. I mean, some of the language that he was using in that. It's like, wow, that was really bad.
Yeah,
and that was all because they were questioning his salvation. That was it, and that's what it became such a rage for him.
Did we cover that in the weather report? I think we did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we just talked about it, but you wouldn't play it because
either that or Sarah, you played the tape or listen to me.
No, we played it in the back room after we went undead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should play that for everybody.
Well, he did. We played the other one that he did on Smokey's too, right? Didn't you play some of that?
I'm not sure.
He had another rage one on Smokey's channel.
Oh yeah, we did play that one. Yeah.
Did we play that? Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I need to make it a point now because little Pee-Pee, he gets very, very upset when he is not mentioned. Like if he's not mentioned on this weather report, he gets very upset. So I'm going to try to make it a point that I at least bring him up and discuss him every day just to keep him happy. So I'm going to try to make that pledge today.
I did bring up his juvenile argument for life being immaterial. So
yeah.
But we will do that.
I mean, we do bring him up. We definitely bring him up here and there, but he definitely gets very upset if we don't. So
we don't want to make him angry because he might have access to weapons or sharp objects. So
or prayers.
Yeah.
But there you go. I just wanted to mention that Top Dog brought up a video there of atheism versus pantheism, and I just thought Serb and I could recreate that in about 30 seconds, if you wanted to, Serb.
I mean, my version of that's evolved a bunch, but yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay. Well, I was just going to do a straw man of it, but nonetheless.
No, we can do it.
Just for comedy purposes. So yeah, atheism. Atheism is the belief that gods don't exist, and pantheism is very similar, except, of course, when I say gods, I mean meaningful definitions of gods, and pantheisms don't have a meaningful definition of God, so therefore it's atheism. Sub, go ahead.
Oh well, you already beat me, damn it.
Well, there we are then. There's the whole debate in one.
So the whole you're just a pantheist argument only works on atheists that don't think they need a definition of what a god can be. which a lot of atheists don't have a definition for it, because once they don't have a definition for it, you can say, well, then you're just a pantheist, right? Because the only grounds they can object on is that that's not a god, but they don't have a definition to disqualify it.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that. So soft atheism, in other words, what I would call soft atheism, is effectively you're saying that's pantheism, and I'm a hard atheist, so I'm saying pantheism. That's effectively atheism.
Yeah. That's great. But yeah, everyone in the room in here that's an atheist that doesn't have a definition of what a god is, you're a pantheist. Get over it.
Oh dear.
Okay, guys, we're gonna shoot it in the head. We're dying. Goodbye, cruel world.
Woohoo!